like talking to people. I like people. Thank God for Zoom in this COVID arena we're in right now. But as far as type A, I would say got me pretty well pegged there.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I like having, like we were talking before this, I like to have everything, the foundation, everything perfect before launching. And then at the end of the day, you just improvise as things come along.
It's a hard word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very hard word. I struggle with that myself. So, all right. Well, it takes, there's a lot of companies in the property and casualty world, everybody knows somebody, but why do you think after being able to buy the company after 10 years, how did you become so successful, I guess?
I think I became so successful because of my dad, to be completely honest. He worked my entire life. He's still alive, so he's still working at a wire mill in Camden, New York, and literally sacrificed fingers to it, lost digits. But he used to come home. He'd work all night long. And he'd come home bright and early in the morning as we were just getting ready for school and stuff. And his hands would be entirely caked in grease, and they were black my entire childhood. And I can remember one time I asked him, I said, "So why don't you just wash your hands? Why don't you use lava soap or something like that?" And he looked at me and goes, "That's right. There's the color of money." I'm like, "Okay, that's not. Money's green, Dad." He goes, "No, honest hard work. Your hands hurt. Your hands are dirty. Your hands show a sign of something that you've done." Now, I'm not working with my hands anymore. My hands haven't had calluses on them in forever, unless I chose to do something like, build a treehouse with my kids.
Yeah.
But I still have that deep seated inside me. I'm not allowed to fail. I'm not allowed to, let anybody down, especially my dad. So I think that's my real true reason for success is every time I'm doing something, when I start getting tired, and normally it's mentally tired, not physically tired, I just think back that my dad sacrificed fingers so that I could get into a position where I didn't have to be at risk of having that happen.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think it says a lot. Upbringing your children to have that kind of a work ethic, and for them to not only talk about it, but for them to see it. Kids learn a lot by what they see. So that I would imagine would translate pretty well to both of your children.
I hope so. I really do.
So that makes sense as to why the company's been so successful. When people search for auto and home insurance, I mean, they can easily just go online. The companies, we don't have to name drop any, but why is it more beneficial to work with yourself and Dolan Maloney versus just searching online?
That's a good question. So with what you do right now, would you say it's easy or confusing?
My personal?
Yeah, with what you personally do, would you, as a financial advisor, would you say your gig would be, to the outside perspective, is it easy or is it complicated?
To the outside perspective, people would think it's easy.
Okay. And now when you get into it and you see all the ins and outs of it, the complication starts showing up pretty well. Same idea with insurance. A lot of people have this idea that it's very easy. And the reason for it is the television screams at you all the time that it's easy. Okay. You ever tried to read an insurance policy?
No, you just hit the next button when you're e-signing it, and you just bring it down 15 pages, and then you just e-sign your name.
It's just like when you go online and somebody's in the thing. Did you read the terms and services? Oh, absolutely, I read that.
100%.
All 90 pages of those. Yeah, I read. So insurance is inherently complicated because the contracts are written in such a way that you have to follow the conditions of the contract. Now, you can buy an insurance policy online, and now you have a complicated, confusing contract and a perfect stranger who works for the company that you bought the product from to ask for help. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I see an inherent conflict of interest in that. If you have a perfect stranger talking to you about a complicated item that they are going to benefit from if it works out in their favor, that just seems like the antenna should go up. Whereas with us, we're agents. We have to straddle that line of working for the company and working for the client. We don't stay perfect strangers. We become friends. We become confidants. I'm a licensed insurance advisor. In fact, there are about 610 of us in the entire state versus 15,000 agents.
Right.
So I'm set up to make sure my clients are better taken care of, so that when something does go wrong, I can't stop the contract from being confusing. It's going to remain confusing. What I can do is dumb it down to simple English when you need help, when you really need to understand something. For example, a home system protection plan, protecting the sewer line that goes to and from your house. It has conditions after conditions after conditions. But the real long and short of it is, sewer line breaks because of a tree root or somebody parked on it, you're going to have that replaced if you have that endorsement. So that's, I think, the big difference between buying online and using someone like myself.
Yeah, it's a personal relationship. You're not just buying a product. Products are commodities. There's something for everybody, no matter what profession you're in. So actually, that leads me to my next question. I didn't think of this beforehand. Do you guys have open architecture? Do you work with is Dolan Maloney Insurance, or do you have multiple carriers? Or
so we're an independent agency, so we have multiple carriers. I like to think of it in a fun way. I enjoy comedy. I enjoy fun. I enjoy the everyday joking around stuff. And a good way to think about it is like a shopping mall. Now we're a lot more sophisticated and higher profession than a shopping mall would be. But
and you're open right now.
We're open right now. Yeah, you can't get in the malls right now. But so what I mean by that is you can go to any store you want in the mall, but they're all contained within the mall. If it's not in the mall, you can't shop at that store unless you go to a different mall. So if you want a product from an online guy, let's say, you have their product and their product only. It could be their auto product, their homeowner product, their business product. But the online guys, the big the box things you see on the advertising the Super Bowl, that's a good measuring stick right there. So let's have a moment of silence for the Super Bowl just in case. We'll come back. Anyway, you're stuck when you're working with those guys with just their product. With me, I've got 19 different companies for each product.